Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black Dog Sports Podcast. Today, we're doing a post-game wrap-up of the Armed Forces Punch Bowl. All right, so
Punch and kick bowl, you mean? Punch and kick bowl.
Y'all already know what it is. I am the Mr. Miyagi, the Miyagi-Do Bowl, the Cobra Kai Bowl, which new episodes come out today.
I don't already bench the whole season.
Really? See, I was kind of on the fence about the way that the last season ended, but whatever.
All right, I'll stop. I hadn't seen it ever yet, so please don't.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Jeremiah,
where you been the last 2 years?
Say what?
Well, you know, it was on YouTube Red at first. So
it was on Netflix now, right?
Yeah, but it's on Netflix now, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I might check it out.
All right, so Bad Boy, baby. So, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I am your host, Arthur Hosey Jr. of the class of 2008. And I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Jeremiah Short and Derek Thomas. So, we always
Ricardo.
Got Ricardo here. Yeah, Ricardo. So as always, I'm gonna go to the senior member of the podcast, get his thoughts coming in. Hopefully he don't say too much, don't bury the lead or nothing like that. But yeah, Mr. Thomas, what's cracking?
Oh man, just hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a wonderful start to your 2021. This is the first day of the month of the new year.
Right. Okay, fair enough. All right, so second senior member, Ricardo Souls, what happening?
Just ready to get to it today, man. I am really, really interested in AMP for this show, right? It's been a while, been working. I'm just interested in hearing everybody's point of views over the overall season, especially the bowl game.
I gotta take this call. Oh, Jeremiah about to speak next, so yeah, do your thing.
Oh, he's on the computer. I was like, that's weird. I'm crunked as far as this interesting episodes, a few topics to talk about. You know, there was an actual game that took place. Of course, that was a brawl, then men's and women's basketball, and the future of the team. So there's a lot of things to talk about. So I really, I'm ready to kind of just dive into it. That sounded very corny, but I really am crunk after a couple weeks to really get back to it with the show.
Arthur.
Wait, okay. I'm back now. I'm back. Bad Boy, baby. So, yeah, I don't know what Jeremiah just said, but I am excited because now we get to talk about the Armed Forces Punch Bowl. Now, I gotta admit, I'm sitting around, you know how I'm doing. I'm kicking it out here in these South Jackson streets. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. Got that thing on me, you know what I'm saying? That twisted T. If you saw the post for today, you know, you already know that I keep it on me. You know what I'm saying? So I see Ha Davis has uploaded a video because I get his notifications, and I immediately recognize a picture of the brawl, and I was like, Lord, do not tell me that Mississippi State that made it to a Ha Davis video, and there we were. So, he said it was the Punch Bowl. Is what it is. So, I'm gonna start off with.
Are we gonna talk about the game first, or we gonna go straight to the brawl?
We talking the game last.
Oh,
because we want to get into it. Okay. To be honest with you, it ain't nothing to say about the game. I mean, we struggled to a win, but we won. You know,
we beat Tulsa. I mean,
who was Buddy who kept getting ran over, man? Like I say, he made that dude.
Don Preston, bro.
That was Sean Preston.
That's man. What you doing, bro? Like, I mean, that's just. If he holds that spot next year, I don't know. I don't want to get into. We'll get into that later.
He made that man look like Larry's. What the freak? He made that man look like Larry Zonka and Derrick Henry had a love child together. Because that man was getting ran over the whole freaking game. I was like, you mean to tell me we don't have anybody on the team better than him?
Anybody?
Like, put somebody from another position out there. Put somebody who hurt out there. I don't care who out there. Do I have any eligibility left? I don't know. I will go out there as fat and slow as I am. I couldn't have possibly done any worse. But what else? So, let me go to the person who I knew is going to be falsely indignified the most. And I'm going to start off with Jeremiah on thoughts about the Punch Bowl, the post-game festivities.
Well, it's two pieces to this. With it, I think the first hand is just from a pure football aspect. You have to look at it and go like, I mean, you don't know what was said. I think people looking like it was a big brawl. It did look bad, but a lot of the people weren't actually fighting each other. It really was a couple people who really were going at it. And it really more the fact that they were right there together. So soon as something pop off, it looked worse because at that point, people just react. So from a football standpoint, people just react. You just ain't going to sit there. Because if you look at Emmanuel Forbes, didn't want no smoke. He was just walking up casually. He was almost like on some Lonzo Ball stuff. Like, man, these dudes ain't finna fight nobody. It's kind of a couple years ago, I think Lonzo Ball's a fight happened on the court. And Lonzo Ball was like, yeah, whatever. And they was like, man, why you ain't do that? It's like, man, these dudes ain't finna fight. It was like, man, whatever. So you can tell Emmanuel Forbes didn't want no smoke, but he almost kind of forced into it. So a lot of the guys, some of the stuff they were doing was a little defensive. Now Malik Heath, he kind of like, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. Maybe it is a Jackson thing. He ran because he have a tool.
Wait.
But I'm talking. So
yeah, but you throw my hometown out there, homie.
The thing is, like what he was doing, like it was just double whammy. You kicked the dude, you ran, so you look weak. Everybody clowning on you for that. Even everybody, you're lame for that. And then you making a post after the game, making the whole school look bad. Like I thought that looked weak. Now the rest of the stuff, I mean, guys was kind of like. Now, I think the part, you just shift a little bit into the part, we was defending our teammates. Like when, at first it was one guy, I'm not going to reveal names, I ain't going to dry snitch on nobody. When certain players were like punching the guy as he was running, and multiple guys were punching him, that was kind of unnecessary. So on that point of it, like, I don't hear none of that. We was just defending our teammates. You weren't defending none at that point. You were just getting free licks. But other than that, like, I mean, it was what it was. As Lee says, it's telling them not to do it no more. Because they was doing grimy stuff the whole game. It was like, it was one play they showed, Matt White even posted it, where one of the guys, like, basically sat on top of one of our guys at the hit.
Kobe Jones.
So, and then there was other little stuff, like with Jaden Wally. They all was, like, sitting there with their shirts off before the game, looking silly. I don't know what was up with that. It's just so much to go with that. I think the game was chippy. There's another thing that should be mentioned. Tulsa has like the second most penalties in like the whole NCAA. So, I mean, they're probably a little bit of a grimy, dirty team. So I'm pretty sure they were saying stuff the whole game. So they mouth roll checks that you know what's couldn't cash. So I think that's the piece of it too. Now the other end, obviously we've incurred a lot of criticism from, as AJ likes to call them, the fake news media. And, you know, I almost expected Leach to kind of pull the emotional coach thing and be like, this is unacceptable. And, you know, my program, we don't do all of this. And it's kind of like, but he kind of said it like we hadn't had any issues with that all year. So it's whatever. I mean, he know they probably was talking reckless the whole game. So, I mean, they got what was coming to them. But at the same time, like all these people, the indignation, it's some validity to some of it. It was a bad look. I don't know if it's an embarrassment to the program, as even some of our fans have made it out to be. The ones that don't necessarily look like us have said it, and I'm just saying it straight up. So, and I know some of them.
Now, I have a few, even in our group, I've seen a lot of black people saying the same thing.
Like, I'm trying to be nice about it. But, so people with this indignation about it, like, come on, man, it's football. If the coach ain't outraged, I ain't outraged. I hate to put it that way. Like, if it was something I felt the coach felt, it must be more to it. Because even I really like Trevor Mattis for what he said. He was like, look, this ain't a good look.
Are you taking a selfie, Arthur?
No,
well, obviously he gave, you know, this man taking selfies.
They say Leach was on the sideline like this the whole time.
They don't say that he was. That ain't no say nothing. It was. They showed the side by side. He was literally taking selfies with fans, so not social distancing or anything. While his team over there, somebody like, hey, bro, man, your team, It's in a malice in the palace. Like, what the world? Like, get away from this selfie. But
Mike Leach did not care.
Lee say he got it. Lee say he
no,
got to
I would say like
get his picture
I
game
think
up.
Trevor Mattis, he was right. I think it's not a good look. Like he said, he want to know what was said. There's things that still haven't been revealed. That's obviously like we're gonna have to probably see more video, different angles of what really spurred it on. Now from the end, now Paul Feinbaum, I ain't really got nothing for him because he always had some negative to say about us. Now I'm not the one to get all mad when people diss Mississippi State, but that dude literally never says anything positive about us. He always got some negative to say. He's always gonna be the one when people hyping us. He always gonna come on the other end. So I really give him no credibility when he comes to talking about us. But like I said, there's validity to what people are saying. There's something I will say, like Coach Leach. Now my thing is, you taking selfies. You know this game being chippy, and you know there's a possibility of some stuff popping off. Like for one, why are players center they even near each other because of social distancing? For one, the game being chippy is probably like, hey, y'all go do what y'all need to do, and we need to get back to the locker room. There was none of that going on, so I do think some of that's on Leach. Leach should have probably been more aware. He was a little just what else about it because it does paint a black eye on the program legitimately, nationally. Now, it don't hurt us with recruiting and none of that type of stuff, but there probably will be, I think we're going to talk about consequences, but there probably will be. But anyway, so that's kind of the two-piece argument of it. Like, it's football, but at the same time, you got to look, it's probably one of the best looks.
All right, so I'm going in order of like the most conservative view to the most ignorant view. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Jeremiah's the conservative view, and now I'm gonna go to Derek.
Wait, I thought you were talking about Ricardo with the ignorant view. Why I gotta be the ignorant view?
Coming after you, that's why I said I'm starting off with conservative and going toward the more ignorant. Because
going toward ignorant. Okay.
Be the most ignorant.
Well, here's the thing. Being to kind of echo Jeremiah, with the game being chippy, should there have even been a post-game handshake? Because what happened to Kobe Jones? That guy should have been kicked out the game. Kobe Jones is laying there, and there's Kendrick. Kobe Jones is laying there on the field, and here comes a Tulsa player and just belly flops him and hits him on the head. That kind of stuff happened all game long. Now, my initial feelings when I saw the brawl, when I saw a certain number 4, who both of us, we both bleed orange and blue still, I was a little bit embarrassed because.
Oh, wait a sec. Now, are you talking about Malik's son? Who will be referred to as Karate Kid?
Man, look, I mean, I was a little bit embarrassed, but, he is a grown man. So, hey, I've talked to some other Callaway people, and they kind of feel how I felt. There are going to be some consequences for what he did. I mean, because, okay, you throw the man down, yes. You give him a kick, and then you take off running. But what you did after the game, I really feel like that's where it's going to be his most severe punishment, because you got on social media bragging about it, and like it was a badge of honor. Really, that bothered me because I understand you. Yeah, I said that. You hype after the game, your adrenaline is pumped. I actually feel like the kick wasn't as bad. Him running it off was worse than the kick. Because if you're gonna do something like that, man, don't run.
As we say colloquially, he snuck him. I ain't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah, you good. I mean, like I met Malik. He probably doesn't remember. I met him when he was in high school, and he's a very, very emotional player. But you can't do stuff like that. To also echo Jeremiah's number 7 was trying to escape. And he might well say he was running through a Super Mario maze because he had to run around.
But David said, "Goofy, lame, where my teammates?"
He had to run through a gauntlet of swings, kicks, swipes, and I was like, I really felt for him, but but he was the guy I thought saw him run through a couple Mississippi State guys and just think like, hey, bro, you in the middle of maroon, you in a crowd of maroon. what you think gonna happen if you start acting foolish like that? You know, so I'm not so as much upset at the kick than I am as the social media response as far as that, because you know, that celebration with your teammates should have been left for the like. Have we learned enough about videoing what happens in a locker room over the past couple of years, and celebrate with your teammates, have it in the locker room, and let it stay in the locker room? Like they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Man, what happens in the locker room needs to stay in the locker room. When I was coming up playing sports, the locker room was sacred. They need to get back to having the locker room be a sacred place. Another aspect of the players who didn't even play. There was a certain number 9 who fell on his behind trying to attack somebody. And there was a young man who was hollering about we thugging. Wasn't playing. Man, look, y'all got to know how to act. You know, be humble, celebrate your win, and celebrate it with class. Unfortunately, both teams at the end of the game did not celebrate the victory or the loss with class.
Yeah, so Bad Boy. Kendrick Vivians, Coach Viv, a.k.a. K-Viv, the headliner, a.k.a. Mississippi Fat, living legend at the State University of Mississippi, et cetera, right? So, how did you feel with the vile, disgusting act of cowardice displayed by Mississippi football team?
Well, I'm actually kind of like jacked up about this one, man, because it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing new. First of all, it's like we've never seen this before, and I ain't just saying from us, from anybody. I mean, it's like you haven't seen a college football team, have a fight before. Now here's the thing. I'm seeing in our groups, a lot of people are, I'm seeing a lot of one-way kind of deal. This doesn't happen from just one side. You don't have a brawl like that from just one side doing something wrong. I get, we talking noise on the field. They playing dirty. I'm guaranteeing we got some dirty plays out there. I'm guaranteeing that. I'm bulldog through and through. But again, it has to come from both sides. Like somebody in one of the message groups said, even one of their coaches was in the middle of it. We had coaches in the middle of it, going up. I'm like,
what's the running back name? 23. He curb stomped somebody. Dylan Johnson curb stomped somebody.
You see who did?
Dylan Johnson. I was surprised.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying you had coaches and players on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just put it on, one side or the other. I did post a video where the first punch I saw, there you saw that you commented on this. The first punch I saw came from Maroon. And everybody, Tulsa is so disgusting. They're wrong. I'm like, dude, we threw the first punch from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
One of our star players, not revealing the name. They ain't dry snitching.
Dry snitch, darn it.
I mean, I did it. I posted a video. I dry snitched.
It was Aaron Brule.
Yeah, it was Brule. Yeah, I'm saying he
Brule.
And he walked. And here's the thing about it. He was walking up to the crowd, and it wasn't even a moment, just a couple of seconds. He walked up. As soon as he walked up in the mix, he swung. It ain't like, it's like he must have called him up from way down the field, like you had or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, I'm going after him. Because he walked straight up to him and just swung, wham. But I'm not disgusted. I'm not into that. I'm 100%. I'm 100% with Derek though. Malik, he needs to have some kind of consequence and repercussion. One, like I said this also, my thing is I think he need to square up with number 7 in a ring or something. And I think he will get all his punishment right then, because I bet number 7 would take him through there. Listen, now the cowardly and all that kind of stuff, I 100% agree with that. When people say that word and that only goes to one person, and that's number 4. Where you say, look at that, Malik, 4, yeah, yeah. Dude, You kicked like he sprinted away when he kicked dude too.
Dude, he had this old the Sports Center announcer. They all
pulled a
normally
Usain
pretty, like
Bolt, real talk.
They even was
Bruh,
like, yo, the
sprinted.
man ran.
Like he sprinted away.
That must be
So,
for the game.
You say what?
I said if he ran that fast during the game.
Well, you gotta get open for that to happen.
But yeah, so that's pretty much my opinion on it. I really think he need something has to be done with that situation. So yeah, that was pretty weak and pretty soft, But somebody said didn't know he was that fast.
Oh, look, you saw the same thing I saw. Man, we gotta
get the comments.
We gotta get Mr. Stringer on the show.
He said,
Mr. Stringer, we gotta get him Mr. Stringer some stories, bro.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a few friends from Jackson. Actually, I got a few friends that went to Callaway, so I'm not gonna talk about. A matter of fact, I shout them out. Nick went to Callaway, and Nair, y'all went to Callaway. So
yeah, I went to Callaway with Nair. Try me.
Okay.
Try me.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna talk bad about Callaway too bad at Jackson. And then my man King James works in the JPS. Are you in JPS still? You out of JPS, aren't you?
No, I'm in JPS.
Okay, you still in JPS.
Yeah, but he over there with them old mustard murder.
Now, wait a second. So I'm texting one of my friends who works at Callaway, and I was asking her, was Malik one of her babies? And she was like, nah, but I know who he is. So I was like, AKA the Karate Kid. The best around. Gonna keep you down.
He auditioning for the next season of Cobra Kai.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, if he get kicked out of school, that's what he gonna have to find somewhere to audition.
Kicked out of school.
But hey,
he'll be down there with Coach Prime.
I'm still wearing my Callaway Chargers. I don't care.
And then it's funny that we mentioned Cobra Kai or whatever, because when Errol Thompson hit that dude on their own side, I was like, get him a body bag.
I think that's what they really was mad about. I was like, man, that's a way for Errol Thompson to end his career, boy. I was like, good Lord,
Errol popped the guy.
He destroyed that dude.
I don't know what. Okay, this is my thing. To me, Errol has always been like a really heady type of guy, whatever. He's always really composed. Usually when the foolishness and the coonery is, did I say coonery?
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, was going on. Usually he was never involved in it. I don't know what them boys from Tulsa were doing, but they must have been doing something pretty bad, because he was on one pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
But, like, he hit somebody else and like stood over him. Like every time he hit somebody, he always stood over him. You never see Errol.
9 tackles in his last game.
Last game.
He make it up for the Missouri game, bro.
Check this out. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I got to go to Ricardo Suggs. Now, Ricardo, I want you to know that I expect ignorance from you. Okay? I don't want to hear anything level-headed, reasonable. I expect Jeremiah and Derek to have to tell you to stop a couple of times. This is my expectation, okay? I expect not ignorance. I expect ignorance.
Release the Ricardo, like releasing the Kraken.
Yeah, Ricardo, go ahead and do that voodoo that you do so well.
Well, first off, I just thought that honestly, it was comical to me, because I'm gonna say this. I know everybody wants to go the ESPN route and do the political correct thing and all like that, but hey, man, I gotta blame all this on Tulsa, because I watched that game from beginning to end yesterday, and them cats was, you know what I'm saying, like what happened with what's his name, Kobe Jones. Like, they had been doing that all game. That's the only one we just really saw. And like, how you gonna, after a playoff, just drop your whole weight and drop your body on a dude when he's trying to get
that dude? You
know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, and then you could tell, like, from like body language and stuff like that, like them dudes have been talking shit the whole game. And then from missing,
Arthur gave him permission, dude.
Like, come on. And then what I don't get, and I hope the folks over in the country club see this. Look here, man. I don't know what y'all expect from the big country ass dude. You know what I'm saying? To let these cornfield guys just sit there and talk crap to them. They gonna talk shit too. You know what I'm saying? You expect a bunch of guys from Mississippi, most of the team from Mississippi.
Just turn your sound off, Jeremiah, so you ain't gotta hear.
And I don't get what everybody, you know what I'm saying, will won't expect anything less. So that I loved it, you know what I'm saying, honestly, because that shows a lot of fight. You know what I'm saying? I done seen more fight in this team than any of the past team with Joe Mo or Cousin Eddie. The only time they showed some fight when they play Ole Miss, and they act like they were halfway scared of them. You want to shake hands and stuff like, no, that's our rival, bro. So now when it comes to stuff like this, like, hey, I'm hoping that whatever our AD, and I forgot what our AD now, I can't think straight right now, but our AD get with their AD and put them on our schedule within the next couple of years. We end up playing them again sometime soon because I loved every minute of it. Because, for one, I know them guys were frustrated about all the calls and touchdowns. They called 3 touchdowns back yesterday, I think. And I felt like we should have had all of them. That game really wasn't that close, honestly. And
it was, but okay.
Everybody wanted the nigger them from me. I just gave it. I basically gave it to you like that. Like that. I don't know what more people expect. You want your team to go out there and show fight in a bowl game against a subpar opponent. You know, I don't, you know, it just bothers me when people get up here and talking all that yippity yap, all that bourgeois and booty chatter and talking out the side of their neck, expecting to go out here and act like, you know what I'm saying, little and stuff like that. I don't know where y'all been at. I hear y'all must been living in the bubble with Michael Jackson and the little boys or something. But
oh my God, man!
So, you know what I'm saying,
I can't right now.
My opinion about this, you got.
Arthur, don't you ever get
hey man, what?
Ever again?
What was that?
AJ, that's on you.
That's
on you.
Hey,
I watched both. I watched Class and Wrath of the Titans, man. But don't this past weekend, bro, you acted a clown with that. Real talk.
Hey, the fans like it.
Yeah, they loving it.
The fans like it.
Yeah, expectations on that one.
But I'm with Jeremiah when I say he said that game wasn't that close. That game was that close. They were moving that ball at will on us.
Yeah, we really should have lost, low key. We really should have lost.
They outgained
They blew it in the red zone a bunch of times.
They legit we only got like
defense, baby. Defense wins.
We really didn't play great defense. They got like 400-500 yards. We really been but didn't break.
Why are you throwing the ball? This is my question. Why are you throwing the ball a lot? Like we could not stop running that. Like the first person did not tackle him.
Us.
So I'm like,
honestly, I would just look for where Sean Preston was at and just went that way. It'd have been like if, a team has a bad defender in basketball, like I don't watch stuff with LeBron, they're like, hey, bring Markeith with you. Like, hey, Sean Preston over there, let's just move that way.
But here's my question. I got two that it was another DB that came in and made a play in the end zone. Where has he been?
Kraft?
Heck no.
Duncan?
The Jemison or whatever his name?
It was something like that, yeah, something like that.
I know. I would tell somebody like, wait a minute, one of our safeties broke up a pass?
Yeah, I mean, he made a great play.
Jemison played corner, right? I think he's a corner.
I don't know.
I think they moved him to safety.
Yeah, I think he was playing because he was out there in the back in the deep because they don't.
I know it's a little premature. Like we were gonna talk about this at the end of the show, but to the coaches, I'm not saying I would help out with the payment or anything like that. Whatever y'all need to do in the next couple months or the next little while to get us a safety or two, maybe 3, 4, 5.
Transfer portal.
Because our safeties isn't a coaching issue. This is like all new players. Like, I almost don't want to see anybody that plays safety other than Fred Peters on the field next year.
CJ Morgan.
CJ Morgan is better than Fred Peters, dude.
Huh?
CJ Morgan gonna be back.
He didn't play this year though. I said anybody that plays safety this year other than Fred Peters.
Oh, okay.
I do not want to see them on the field. Not at least starting.
But like I said though, you lost CJ, Fred, and you lost Marcus Murphy.
And Judas Jones.
And Judas.
Marcus Murphy.
But I'm just still saying he was the star. He was our star. All those guys were backups. Every last one of them. They had, because you think about it, we just named all the starting safeties. All of them gone. Timms and Kraft are walk-on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tim was the defensive end that got that sack. He was balling yesterday.
I'm like, I don't know where he been at all year. He actually looked all right out there. I'm not trying to hype up his performance, but he looked okay.
You know, I can tell you, see now, as a DB, like you see, okay, being down there inside like that, you know, that you got double teams and all that kind of stuff. They probably wasn't studying Tim's in there, and he made some plays.
Hey,
they was like, "Nah, don't worry about him. Let's get these other guys." You know,
I
don't even think he played all
you know
year.
what?
I don't even think he's been playing all year on defense. I think he's just a special team guy.
Even though Malik made Callaway look bad, Moneybag made Callaway look good with 2 sacks yesterday. Aaron baby.
Hey.
He started from Marquise Spencer.
Who, Odom?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But I ain't got to say what I had to say yet. Which is that I ain't gonna be as bad.
Are you gonna be worse than Ricardo?
No, I can't.
Is that possible?
Okay. So I want to say that I've never been prouder of our football team than I was yesterday.
The fight or the game?
Huh?
The fight or the game?
The fight. The game, I was ashamed. But the fight, I was very, very proud. And let me tell you who I think who is responsible for this. The refs. The refs never had a hold of the game. The refs enabled Tulsa's behavior. If they would have called more personal fouls, if they would have called a lot of that extracurricular type of stuff, you probably wouldn't have saw this happen in the first place. In my opinion, and you see this a lot, I don't know, maybe I'm the only person who notices this, but y'all ever notice that players always seem to get hurt in those first couple of games of the season where you play like Louisiana Monroe, UT Martin, schools like that? And why? Because you have a lot of people with the Napoleon complex who, you know, we're playing this SEC D1 school. We got to go out there and prove ourselves, blah, 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 blah. Now, I remember somebody saying that Tulsa was the most classless team that they ever seen since BYU. Now, I don't know nothing about when Mississippi State played BYU, but I do remember that when Mississippi State played Oregon, like, they played Oregon like my first year at Mississippi State, my freshman year. And
remember that blowout?
Yeah. Oregon, their team had no class. Like, they were antagonizing Mississippi State fans the entire time. But I feel as though that Tulsa, you know, they was number 24, they was playing the SEC school, blah, 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 blah. And I feel as though that they probably was out there chirping, and, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of chirping, but whatever happened, I believe that Tulsa must have just gone too far, or our players wasn't going, or whatever. Now, on to what Mike Leach said, because I believe that Mike Leach said something that was very profound. He was like, it's a football game. They just got done hitting each other for 60 minutes. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act all indignant because, you know, how you go watch some dudes run into each other for 60 minutes and then act indignant when they fight after the fact, when what they just got done doing for 60 minutes is probably more dangerous than the actual brawl that they had. You know, people go out there.
Has to do Errol Thompson hit about that.
Yeah. So I'm like, nobody really got hurt from that. And folks got more hurt from what happened in the actual game. So as Mike Tyson once said, F it, it's a fight. So whatever happens, happens. Like, these people run, like, they have, you know, in sports science, they say that every collision on a football field is literally like a 40-mile-an-hour car crash. And now, you know, I don't know. You know, that type of stuff never did anything for me. I feel like Lamar Thomas when Miami and FIU got to fighting. You know, personally, I wanted to go down the elevator and get in that thing. You know, I was listening to Touch Those Other Hitters by C Murder while I watched the fight. I was thoroughly amused when what his name is
Herb.
Malik Keith did the crane kick on that dude from
Okay.
Tulsa. F Tulsa because of the Tulsa riots. Yeah, that was really just payback for the Tulsa riots as far as I'm concerned.
And then that happened in 1921, I think, too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. 80-year anniversary.
Stay woke.
No, not 80. I can't. So yeah, F Tulsa. What else do I want to say about that? I respect Mike Leach more for having the cajones to say that he didn't care. Because he didn't. Like, he really could have cared less. And like I say, Tulsa antagonized us. They got what they came for. You know, they had been hearing about the SEC, and we can't play with the SEC. Well, you can't play with them, and you can't fight with them either. You know, you lost the battle, you lost the war, you lost the fight. Then the girls' team won. Foreshadowing. So we went 3-0 yesterday. And like I say, I've never been prouder of our team. Now, I will say this. Let's not act like we ain't never snuck anybody before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Malik Keith got him with a club. No, Jeremiah, do not look at me like that. Do not look at me like that, Jeremiah. You know, let's not act like sneaking somebody ain't like, you know, a well-established art. Everybody ran up on somebody like B and then ran off before. You know, it happens. You know, it is what it is.
But there's no rules in fighting now.
I
just had a problem with him running.
Now, I don't have a problem with running either. Now, what I had a problem with was the foolishness after the game, him snitching on himself on Instagram. I was like, baby, what is you doing? Like,
well, we have to, it's all about a narrative. Let's talk about what happens at the beginning, at the end of stories. At the beginning of the season, Malik Keith is the one that put out some dumb video after the LSU game. And after our last game of the season, he does the same thing. So, I mean, it only fits narratively.
I mean, my thing is this. I'm like, wait for everybody to put out the fake apologies and stuff like that. Have a statement be like, whilst my behavior was, you know, I've embarrassed myself, my family, in Mississippi State University, that type of stuff. I want to be.
God bless the United States of America.
Yeah, I want to be. I disrespected our troops at the Armed Forces Bowl, stuff like that. You know, don't be on Instagram like, yeah, look at me drop kick this B word, A word, N word, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, try to.
Now, you know, somebody in the country club, and I can't believe I just said that. Kendrick, it was talking about how the person acts could somebody translate.
I saw that.
I'm like, dude, you just come out with a statement. What do you need to do right now? If he is listening right now, I want you to write a statement or have somebody make a statement for you.
Have somebody else write it.
Yeah, and say that, you know, looking back,
Hey, Kendrick snuck one in there.
you had time to reflect, you know, and you are embarrassed by your actions, and you trying to set an example for your child that was just born, blah, 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 yakety smackety. Okay?
Turn 1 year old too. Happy birthday, Malik.
Yeah, and by the way, another thing that we need to discuss is the fact that I think that ESPN is bored. They didn't really have anything else to talk about. So if something happened like Clemson lose tonight, then everybody go forget about this anyway. So all we really
Alabama losing on Notre Dame upsetting Alabama.
Oh, don't let Notre Dame be in the national championship. Oh God.
What you saying? Do y'all really believe for 1 second that Notre Dame stands a snowball's chance in Hades.
Oh no, I'm not saying they will. As David Pollock said, they're probably gonna get boat race. But at the same time, I never heard that before.
Boat
but
race.
It sounds pretty.
race.
It's probably the. I hate to say it, but it's probably the white version of saying you're gonna get mollywop. But yeah, I'm saying, what if they do win though? ESPN is gonna lose their mind.
Oh, definitely. Nobody will care about our fight anymore. But that being said, I remember the last time that Notre Dame and Alabama played each other. Literally,
They got bags.
they asked
And Leprechaun still looking for his
what
goal.
his team got to do to win. They asked Brian Kelly what his team got to do to win, and he said, "Hope that Alabama don't come out for the second half." You can go and look that up on YouTube. That was the reporter got a hold of us. She was like, "What y'all got to do for Alabama to win?" He was like, "Shit, man, just hope Alabama don't come out in the second half." Like,
the only way Notre Dame gonna beat Alabama is a little evil leprechaun up here. That's all. That's the only way Notre Dame gonna beat Alabama.
You better.
Hey, Arthur, I got one better for you. If Notre Dame was to beat Alabama, Gary Daniels will probably go jump off a bridge somewhere. They got to be on CBS. He'll probably go jump off a bridge somewhere. He'll probably kill himself.
I mean, I don't know who that is, but yeah.
And I don't know why, why they would do that. But
Notre Dame better.
He's a homer.
Notre Dame better pray to COVID Jesus that something happens between now and then. That's the only chance that they stand. Or they better hope that Alabama decide that they want to protest social injustice or something like that. But let's be real, it's Alabama. That's not going to happen.
I just posted a link. That might be what you was talking about.
I'm so sad because, like, we got to stop talking about the foolishness.
I think we talked about that for like 40-some minutes.
Hey, but it was worth it, though. So, will there be consequences? Should there be consequences? We gonna do it like we did the last time. We gonna start in order from the person who said Malik Heath need to be kicked out of the university down to me, who is gonna say that he should actually have a statue outside of David.
A statue of his kick.
Yeah. of his crane kick.
Jeremiah?
I think it will be some consequences. I don't know how severe. Because I think Paul Feinbaum even said, like, we should be embarrassed or something like that. Because what can they really do? Some of the guys are seniors. They're gone. So, I mean, what are you really going to do to them? Not like the NFL going to punish them for a fight after a bowl game.
Internally.
I mean, okay.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what they'll say.
It was handled internally.
Internally, they be giving them a high five. So will there be consequences? They'll probably figure something out. But they got to show that, they got to keep them under control. You infer from that what you will. So I think there will be some consequences. It may not be anything major. Now they can go nuclear and be like, we're going to ban them from the next year's bowl or something stupid like that. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But there probably will be something. Should there be? Yeah, I think some old heads, and I've had conversations about Malik Heath. I think some old heads, whether from Jackson and even some Mississippi State people, need to sit Malik Heath in a room and have some real conversations with him. Because some other things I've heard, there's a compilation of things with him and things that he does that's a little indignant, to be honest with you. So it probably speaks more to him, like the thing after the LSU game, the DUI before the season. After this game, dry snitching on your whole team and you kicking dudes and running away, like you making your whole city look bad. So I think some people need to sit down and have a real grown-up conversation with Malik Heath and tell him, like, hey, bro, you're a massive talent, and don't mess your career up with all this ignorant stuff, because that's some bad juju building up. You ain't productive on the field, and if you're not productive next year, you're not going to get drafted. So I think that's the conversation somebody's going to have with him. And I feel if he can't get it together, I think he might be more trouble than he's worth. That's real.
Okay, Derek Thomas.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some consequences, I feel. And we're not going to be able to find out what they are until the next season unless they decide to, keep people off the team. That's the only time we'll find out now as far as what happens. I mean, I mean, it kind of seems, I guess you could say, unfair to punish someone a whole season from now, for something they did last season. But it's happened. The NCAA does it all the time. Um, think of Christian Fulton. I think they kept that young man out of football for almost 2 years. Their cornerback from LSU. No, that was one of them. Vincent, one of them cornerback from LSU. He got in trouble or whatever. But I don't necessarily know what's going to happen or who else is going to be punished. I mean, you can say Boulay could be punished. DeMonte Russell could be punished. Um, the people who threw punches at number 7 as he ran through the Super Mario board of Mississippi State on the field could possibly face some discipline. It's possible the SEC could step in and say, you know what, we're going to handle this. We're not going to leave it up to Mississippi State. We're going to handle it as a conference. So when you have something like this that happens, it doesn't matter when it's at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season, consequences are always going to come down the river.
All right. Kendra Vivians, consequences, repercussions.
I believe it should be something. But if we don't have an all SEC schedule next year, it'll be the first game or two against.
We're playing like J State or something.
Yeah, against DeVry. You can't play them 2 games and then something like that. It'd be water under the bridge. It'd be all said and done. But like I said, my main thing, because if you cannot, I don't think you can punish. You take out a game because you probably ain't gonna have no players. You'll be, you know what I'm saying, because like the whole team was involved. But maybe like I said, I continue to say it. The Malik fiasco after the game. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. And whoever posted it, get them too. Like who shared that? Like who in your locker room? But they were live.
I think it was him.
They were live though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with them being live, I guess you didn't know what he was gonna say. It was him because he turned the camera around like, yeah.
Yeah, bro, Mayo.
Yeah. So, but like that was foolishness, right? And so I definitely think he should, face something. And like I said, not for the antics on the field because there's no rules in fighting. If I'm fighting somebody, I'm seeing on message board, you just can't kick somebody. You can't pull somebody's helmet off. What? You're fighting. You can't pull somebody's helmet off. And 9 times out of 10, it's somebody that ain't never smelled a football field saying this kind of stuff. Ain't never been in a fight, nothing like that. You cannot do that. Man, listen, if you're in a fight, it's no rules, right? So, everything goes. So I'm not, if everybody's fighting, whatever's in the rule book for fighting, all right, roll with that. It shouldn't be any extenuating circumstances now. It's just a fight. All right. But as far as that crap afterwards, man, something got to be done. I mean, and me personally being a coach and a teacher, I'm like, you can't save them all. And apparently, from Jeremiah saying he got baggage out the wazoo. Hey man, look, bro. You know what? You can have the scholarship, but get off the team. I mean, something. Cut your losses, man. Because like you said, the production was. I mean, you could have put anybody in his spot for his production. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, Doodle looked pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? You could put anybody up in there. So yeah, but that's it.
Ricardo.
Yeah,
muted.
Ricardo, I was on mute.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick with when I went on what I said earlier about the whole fight thing. Honestly, kicking them off the team, like I don't think that should be done. But I will just see how they do next season. This later on this season, 2021 campaign. I would probably, if you're gonna make them sit out a game, make them sit out like a first half or something like that. Because like I'm gonna stick to my guns. Like you can't keep badgering like a bully. You can't keep poking the bear, and not expect it to wake up. And when you're dealing with a different type of monster. You can't. I don't know what those guys were thinking. That might be how they do things up there in Tulsa. But when you're dealing with some country bumpkins, some Bama's, You can't do that because eventually you're gonna wake up that mean streak in them. Then you playing football, and like you said, like the guy said, ain't no rules in fighting. You want to pick up a brick, do that. You want to pick up a dumpster, do that. You want to put
Garbage can like Craig.
Yeah, garbage can, a brick, or light them on fire. Ain't no rules.
Oh my God.
So with like honestly, if it's something like I don't know if they're gonna do the all SEC thing next year. Hopefully they don't. Let us sit out a half, something like that, because we got Wally and them other receivers. Wally playing pretty good this year. But if they go overreact and want to pick him off the team, hey, he can always go to my other favorite swag team. Hey, Dion looking for receivers all day, every day.
He said he wants some dogs.
Hey, he got one.
Dogs don't hit and run, Doc.
Yeah, he probably like, nah, bro, we can't fool with that in Jacktown, man.
They need to stop acting like these guys choir boys. Y'all knew exactly what you were dealing with when you recruited these guys. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, all these politically correct, Paul Feinbaum, these other dark-skinned white people, these other dark-skinned and white-skinned people out here. Like, you got to understand, when these people go walking in these people's houses, a lot of these guys got single mothers, didn't grow with a dad in their house.
Well, he did, though.
They'll figure.
His dad is there.
But at the same time, what you have to realize, and I'm hoping Mr. Heath listening to this, really anybody, I don't care who hears this, and this ain't no shot or no slight at anybody. Anybody on here listening and that's on this podcast can attest to this. You are a product of your environment. It's on you. Well, how can you expect a 18, 19-year-old kid to do X, Y, and Z when that's all they know? Hopefully, as time passes by, he'll grow into everything and then get over this. Hopefully, he comes out with a statement before the season starts. But who knows? When the good old boys up there at SEC might come sanctions for Mississippi State, or might kick him out a game or two, might kick him out of school. But if they do, like I said, old Uncle Prime got a whole bunch of slots and spots for him.
Now, I would hate to interject there and say, this. One of my friends told me a couple years ago, not a couple, it's long than that now. But we were talking about another situation somebody did, a bad act or whatever, and, it'd be a product of your environment. You say, like, some people grew up, like, I ain't grew up with my dad in the home, so I know how that is, but I don't necessarily mean you go out there and do stuff like that. Like, you can be from a rough environment or be from a situation where, like, you're around certain things, but you got to learn how to be presentable. Like, Malik Heath has been in JUCO for 2 years and then college. So he's a 3-year college student, or 2.5, I guess. So at some point, you got to learn how to be presentable. You got to learn how to just not do stuff. Like I said, some other things I've heard as far as how he operates and things like that. At some point, you got to grow up. So and that's really more of the real conversation. Like, we're not talking about the fight part. Like, the whole kicking thing is silly. But it's kind of like at some point, you got to grow up and be like, hey, I'm not going to be putting this type of stuff on social media right after the game. You got to think.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jeremiah.
That's just being real. You got to think.
Yeah, at a certain time, at a certain age, you gotta. Everybody on this podcast is a product of the environment. Whether you choose to follow that or whether you choose to go opposite of that, you're a product of what it is. So, me personally, I grew up in Moss Point, and like right down the street, a few blocks down the street was a few clubs. It was like a whole stretch, of clubs, and somebody's getting shot every weekend or every week. I'm seeing prostitutes walking up and down the street, drug dealings going on. I mean, I'm seeing all this stuff. I've had guns pulled on me on my own street. I mean, I ain't even making up stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I chose not to do that. I mean, I'm a product of, I see this and I'm choosing the other way. You choosing your path. And like Jeremiah just said, dude, you been out of school. You ain't in your environment no more. Like, your environment is college educated folks. Like, let's go with that part. Don't try to be like who y'all say, Russell. Well, that's Jacktown's finest too, right? That's Provine, right? Ain't that the one y'all said that was out of he thugging and stuff? Dude, thugging.
No, that was Brandon Cunningham. But yeah, I get
that. Cunningham, thinking that was Brandon Cunningham.
But Russell
was the guy that fell when he was trying to
he didn't fall. He got knocked down. He didn't fall because he snuck dude. He snuck dude. And dude came back and snuck him, and he went backwards like this. Dude, sit down. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at some point you gotta be like, nah, this ain't for me. Like somebody say, Forbes didn't want that smoke. Forbes ain't I saw Forbes like, man, try to
put the helmet on.
And you saw Forbes put his hat on. He was so got his hat on. Like, what's going on?
Forbes said,
you
you
said,
finna
fight.
miss my career.
Forbes didn't want none of that.
Did Johnson hit somebody later, but at first he was trying to back up. He was like, nah, what's going on?
Talking about Dylan Johnson?
Huh?
Running back?
At first he didn't want none.
Man,
then he jumped in the pile.
With his helmet off.
Yeah, he went into the pile, but at first he was like, nah, I'm chilling. But I guess he got the best of him. But you saw some people walk around with their hats on like, man, I'm not finna get in that junk. Yeah,
that's what and mess up my pro stock.
Right, that's what you gotta man, you get that mess.
That's the difference between somebody from Greenville that went to St. Joe and somebody from Greenville that went to Greenville High. Because I can assure you that if that would have been like Gary Green or something like that, you know, if he was going to do it, he would have started right off the bat. He wouldn't go check to see if they were winning.
You do realize Jerry Green was like one of our SEC academic All-Americans, was on like the leadership team.
No, what's your boy name? Bernardo Sidney is looking like. What's his name?
That's the Bernardo Sidney.
He's from the Delta. He's from the Delta.
He on the squad now?
Yeah, big dollar sign. What's his name?
Dollar Bill? Johnson.
Oh, he was in there throwing haymakers, bro.
He was out there?
I didn't see him in person. He
was out there like this.
I mean, he's from Greenwood, you know what I'm saying? Pretty.
I wish he could do that on the football field.
I had the scariest high school game of my career in Greenwood.
They say Greenwood, you feel like you gonna die at any moment.
Man, we was in Greenwood. No, listen,
and we got our bus whooped.
We played in Greenwood, dude. And I promise, I thought I was gonna remember the Titans. I was like, dude, are y'all gonna upgrade this field? Any? I'm thinking somebody gonna walk out the backyard and come out their back porch like, all right, now y'all got to be out my yard in 15 minutes. It was terrible. Like, they literally had puddles on the field. Like, it wasn't just like, okay, it's wet. You know how on the field it's very wet. You can't see it, but then when you walk out there, it's mushy. Nah, dog. I'm seeing like little lakes, a pool over here, swamp over here. I'm like, this is horrible. They beat us. They had two big plays, and on both plays, our defender broke to try to go pick it off, face plant in the ground, slip. They catch the ball hard butt to the end zone, and they beat us. And it was terrible over there.
Y'all playing on the same field that they was playing on. So, you know what I'm saying? That is what it is. Now, I was going to say, when I was at Lanier, our students, they were playing at South Delta, which is like Rolling Fork or something like that. And they said that they lost because they kept getting bit by mosquitoes. So, you know.
Hey, the Delta known for them killing mosquitoes, dog.
Home field advantage. Now, I was going to say, as far as the consequences are concerned, there's what I expect is going to happen as opposed to what I would do. What I think is going to happen is that everybody who remotely threw a punch or anything like that is going to get suspended for a couple of games or whatever. But if it were me, like, especially with Malik Heath, what I would do is that I would, I believe in restorative justice. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you kick him off the team, and after he does community service and all that crap, you have some cameras following him around while he feed homeless people and read the children, and then you can put it on ESPN.
I was gonna throw a joke in there, but I'm gonna stop.
Now, what was you gonna say?
You say you gonna have him read the children?
Okay.
I already caught, bruh.
I don't get it.
You don't get it.
Come on, Arthur.
What,
Really?
you might not be able to do it?
That's what it's, yeah, that's.
Oh, that's the
Hooked on funny.
Anyway, let's move
Hey,
on.
wait.
Hooked on funny.
No, I got this anecdote. I got this anecdote that I'm gonna tell right quick. So I grew up in Green Public School system, right? And when I was in 7th grade, they had the superintendent of the school come read to us in my math class. Do you know that we had to help our superintendent through some of the words?
No. Like, just sound it out. That's a vowel team.
What's the superintendent name?
I believe at that time it was Dr. Joe Haynes. And first of all, the book that he was reading, involved God created Earth, and then on the seventh day he sat down and smoked a cigar. I was like, what?
What is he reading?
And why he's reading to y'all in math class? That seems
He was sitting up there. It was like one of them photo op type of deals.
I know, it just seems a little out of place.
And you know how somebody slow down when they get to a word they don't know? And he was like,
maybe he was just trying to show y'all how to sound it out.
he was like,
funny.
Maybe
Maybe so y'all didn't get that in the first and second grade. He was trying to show y'all how to sound it out.
dude, he was like, we was like little. He was like, all right, thanks. And we were like, oh my God. Like the superintendent cannot read. I am so done. But anyway, yeah.
Like,
I hope he's still living. Is he still living?
I don't know. This was back in the 90s. I would imagine he dead, but who knows?
Oh.
It's like a lot of my teachers, you know, back when you were in like 7th grade, you think that all your teachers is old, when in reality they was 25. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Not none of mine. I had our older teachers.
I mean, probably. But then again, you are also old yourself, so there's that.
Dude,
I
you're
am-
like a couple years older than me. Younger than me.
Dude, you are like, what, 6 years older than me or something like that?
I'm 40.
Okay, exactly.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
On my birthday a week from today, by the way. Turn up. My birthday is a week from today.
That's good.
Turn up.
What you want? We gonna send you more. We gonna send you.
I want Jeremiah to wear that T-shirt. That's what I want.
Oh, the Colin Hill T-shirt.
I gotta get it together. I gotta find somebody to do it.
Yeah, Kylan Hill is my favorite.
It'd be perfect if I wore it on the same day that he is in the Senior Bowl.
Did he say anything about the game?
What game? That's what I was about to say. So we supposed to be talking about, did the fight take away from the game? I personally feel as though that the fight made us forget that the game sucked. But like I said, I'm gonna start with Jeremiah, aka Jeremy, aka Moot.
Oh my goodness! I told somebody the other day, I don't like nobody calling me that unless like I know them. But anyway, we grew up together. Anyway, in some ways it did, because it was kind of a nice way to end the season. We ended essentially beating 2 top 25 teams. Although I think Tulsa was probably kind of fake news top 25. Now I will say they didn't have their best linebacker. Now I don't know if we would wanted that smoke if he was playing, but that might have made the post game situation a little bit more interesting if they had him. I think his name's Xavier Collins or something. So that made the game a little more interesting, because our offense we did a good job of running the ball. The one thing I kind of hope, it seems like we've kind of figured out a formula as far as how much we're going to run the ball as compared to throwing. I think we see that Dylan Johnson may be more of our straight line power back. You know, Marks is kind of our good, dual threat type running back. So I think we got a good mix there. Hopefully Witherspoon comes on some more, so we'll have 3 strong running backs. Tulu came along. So, you add him with a Jaden Wiley, you at least know you got 2 strong receivers. We'll see what happens with Malik Heath, because he wasn't too productive this year, to see if he learns how to find his zone instead of running his mouth. So, I say run a route instead of run his mouth. So we got to improve the offensive line a little bit, and we'll get to the future. But I think overall the game, there was a lot of positives. I think the defense could have played way better, but I think the defense, at some point, we ran out of talent, as LeBron James would say, on the defensive side of football. Like, they really were playing above their station the whole year, and the team Tulsa was able to move the ball a little bit, just because I think we just don't have bullets in the chamber, so to speak. So, but at the same time, they came through when we needed them to. So I think it was overall a good way to end the season as far as the winning aspect, beating Missouri, beating Tulsa. So it kind of gives you momentum going into the spring, possibly getting a few recruits late, and then into next season. So I think it did kind of overshadow the fact that we ended the season on a very positive note.
Right. Bad boy. I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't hear nothing that he said. But Derek.
Well, I mean, yeah, the fight overshadowed the game, and being that, even without their best defensive player, they were able to kind of shut down the air raid passing attack, because Will Rogers was 19 of 30 for, I think, 148 yards. That's terrible, really, in the air raid system.
Wait.
The best thing,
just real quick, not to cut you off, but you forgot to mention that he went to the same high school as Gardner Minshew. And that
I don't care about that. That's only you.
And he was recruited while he was at Washington State because he ran the same offense in high school.
Well, here is what I like about yesterday. All season long, we have been wishing for our team to run the ball more. We got our wish against Missouri. We definitely got a late Christmas present yesterday because we threw 30 passes. We also had 30 runs, including sacks, but still we ran the ball. I mean, and offensive balance, yes, I want to see more yards in the passing game, but I like the fact that Mike Leach finally committed to running the ball. If he would have done this earlier in the season.
It's a strong word, but okay.
What's that, Jeremiah?
I said commit's a strong word.
But if he'd have done this earlier in the season, it's possible we could have had a few more W's on the board.
No, I agree. I just said commit's a strong word.
Right.
I hold my breath.
Right. So, because all year long teams knew what we were going to do. I mean, Tulsa, even so, they knew what we were going to do most of the time because they had they went a wide rush 3. I mean, those defensive ends were like on our sideline rushing the passer, like, come on, run the ball. Like when Will Rogers ran for his touchdown, I mean, it was like wide the frick open. Like they had no, even though we did run the ball, they had no fear of us hurting them in the running game. So we really should just ran the ball all game long. I mean, if we'd have ran the ball, we'd probably have 400 or 500 yards of offense.
That's the same thing that I said. I was like, we are running at will on them, and for whatever reason, air raid. So, Ken Vivians, same thing for you. Did the fight overshadow the game? And what did you think about the game?
Well, the fight was actually better than the game. Our last 2 games have been like snooze button. Like,
the Missouri game was fun to watch though.
Who game?
The Missouri game. We threw them out by like 19 points.
I don't care what you blew them out by. It was still a snooze fest. Listen, both of those games were like terrible. And hey, I'm glad we won. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad we won. Sometimes you got to play a boring game to do what you do. It's all about the W, right? The fight, I think it definitely 1,000% overshadows the game, but like I said, in a good way. Because like, oh my gosh, and everybody's like, well, this shows promise for the dogs, blah blah blah, because we won. But I mean, what made the only thing that I was excited about is shoot who were losing on defense? Like somebody chime in, who were losing on defense?
Arrow
in the front 7.
Marquise Spencer.
We're losing a decent portion of about half of our front 7. Really, front
as far as who though? I mean, talk to me.
Errol Thompson, we're losing.
Yep, that's a good one.
Marquis Spencer already is hurt, so he didn't play yesterday anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe Jones, assuming they all go pro.
Now, see, Kobe, for me, like Kobe's one of my favorites as a person and everything else. But Kobe was just like a solid player. All right.
Right.
So he just wasn't a game. He was a solid player. Spencer had he was some very good shining moments. All right. Okay, and then Errol is what Errol is, right? I think
Spencer will be a pro guy. He'll be a guy that
absolutely. He had his moments. But here's my thing. You got other guys up there. You got youngsters that played a lot of minutes and that did really well. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm good with that. So defensively, yes. Now, Will, on the offensive side, that's hard to say right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he like anybody else, he showed glimpses. He played enough that I think he should have gotten much better than he did. He played a lot of football this year, and you just didn't see as much growth as I would have liked to see. Because pretty much by the end of the year, you played the same defenses every day. Those that drop 8. In the backfield is well documented. How I feel about the backfield. You got 2 players. I like 23 better than I like 21. and 23 is not that great. And so we're talking about a solid backfield. If those two guys came in and was better than Witherspoon, then we're not. I mean, it's going to be tough. I think
that may be a little unfair, though. That may be a little unfair, just based off the style of offense we've been running.
What are you saying? What's unfair?
I said it may be a little unfair because of the style of offense run. I get what you're saying, though, because they really hadn't showed out this year. I get what
No. I mean, even like, even your boy's touchdown yesterday. I was looking at it, I'm like, what is wrong with him? It's like probably because he so much space and room, he didn't know what to do with it. Like he didn't look comfortable running down the field. I'm like,
yeah.
And like,
well, some of it, like, look at our offense, our guys, because everybody say the thing about our offensive line is that, they have been blocking well. So our offensive line has been a run blocking offensive line for most of the time. They've been at the school in most of their careers, and then you asking them to sit there and back up all the time. While running backs, they're used to running with a pulling guard or like design run plays. They're basically doing draws and things like that. So that's why it may seem like it looked a little unorthodox. It's not me making excuses, but
I can't ride with that with the running backs, man. You're a running back, bro. Your job is to find a hole. It's not pulling guard. It's to find a hole. You run off whatever the blocking scheme is. You run off that guy's butt in front of you. And like Derek said, I'm like, you supposed to be the shifty back and have no shift. He made that one good play after we said it there. He did. After we said it, he made some moves. But other than that, dude, you can't make nobody miss an open field. Like literally, you cannot. He, like I said, he made that one good run. I think he made about 2 or 3 dudes miss. But other than that, you have no shift.
He ain't gonna break no tackles.
No, they're not. Now, like I said,
Johnson will.
A lot of people not gonna like this comparison. I only saw him for a little bit, but it's almost J.J. Johnson-esque. Now, I'm not putting him on J.J.'s level, but he's a big old physical back, just like J.J. was. And and we're talking about a true freshman. J.J. came in as a what? Junior. So it's a different comparison, but it's still like J.J.-esque. He could become that kind of guy. But my goodness, we need somebody like Shifty in the backfield because you got to play in space in this offense. You're playing in space. You know what I'm saying? And neither one of these guys are like you said. Now you did say, Jeremiah, that they're probably used to following that guard in there and doing all this kind of stuff between the tackles. But you have to be able to, like you said, those two have been our guys from day one. Now they have been the guys from day one, so they played more ball than Will, and they still haven't. Well, again, they haven't been running the ball all year either, right? So,
but they played well yesterday. But I get what you're saying. I want to say, where's Brandon Holloway when you need him?
Oh my goodness! Now he would have
ripped it up in his offense.
Now we should have switched them. Like they came at the wrong time. But offensively, man, I think we're gonna what we signed 30 wide receivers. We should, and then like I said, Wally and your boy Tulu, like okay. Now,
that boy can run. Oh my goodness, that boy.
And somebody
should have been returning kicks out.
I'm so mad. Somebody said that boy remind me of Jameson Lewis. Only because he got dreads.
Jameson Lewis couldn't run like that.
Only because he got dreads. That's it.
That dude, straight line speed.
Jameson Lewis would get sucked up, get just smoked in a race with that dude.
Yeah, that dude.
I don't care if you're listening.
No. Your boy Tulu caught out. He see a crease, he gone. That dog gone.
We hadn't had a player with his speed in really maybe since Jared Norwood. And I don't know if Jared Norwood can outrun him. Like I ain't hyping. I'm just saying.
Jared Norwood was a 4-3 guy now.
I don't even think.
He just didn't look. He had those long legs, so he didn't look like it.
Galloping runner.
He was getting it. So but regardless, not just to compare, him with Norwood or anybody like that. But like I said, like you just said, dude, he catch the ball. He on a mission. We haven't seen that in a minute, dude. He's on a mission.
We can use a certain word with him. As I was watching all those kickoffs, I was like, man, he almost break it every time. The word is dangerous. Like we hadn't had a player as an offensive player or as a returner that you can call dangerous in a long time.
Yeah, and he looked good to me. But offensively, I'm going to wrap it up, AJ. I'm sorry, but offensively, man, we'll be fine. And I'm interested to see the quarterback competition next year too.
Well, we're getting into that. I'm ready for that topic.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one.
Yeah, one day. All right, so Ricardo. Ricardo.
Yo.
Hey,
Okay, yeah. So, what did you think about like the game, and did the fight overshadow the game itself?
I think it kind of did. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, it did. It did. I'll say that. Yeah, it did overshadow the game because um, I just felt like it could have been better than what it was. They basically bet 3, dropped 8. Um, could have done better, made better plays. I mean, well, better play calling. Basically playing into defense's hands. With the fight afterward, that's like we already talked about it. We're not gonna go through that no more. But yeah, I feel like it did. Because some things would have cleaned up a little bit better. Yes. The players did good. I forgot what that guy's name is. The running back. I think it's Marks. Um, if they can run him a little bit more, like he's gonna be good. I don't know if he's gonna be what we used to having good, like either Anthony Dixon or Jerry Norwood good, but he got some promise, man. He got to do a little bit more of that elusiveness. You know what I'm saying? If he can have elusiveness and power, we'll be okay. But other than that, yeah, I feel like it did overshadow the game.
Right. So yeah, bad boy, baby. So we were supposed to talk about the men's team, which y'all know how I feel. I do not like men's no more. Um, let's see. Then something about the way do we have positive outlook on the season, blah blah blah, yakety smackety. But I'm gonna be honest with
And the
y'all.
women too. The women both
Man,
started.
we've been on here too long. F y'all. Also,
We save for the AM. We save for the breakfast with the black dogs.
yeah. Also, I'm hungry. Okay. So while I got y'all here, Derek, do you have any recommendations for a restaurant to go to around this piece? Give me something I ain't never somewhere I ain't never been. Because in my head, I want to go to Mr. Chin.
In Jackson?
Yeah, in my head, I want to go to Mr.
In Jackson?
Chin. Yes, in Jackson. Nah, in Baton Rouge.
Go to Golden Corral.
There's a place. There's a place I've been wanting to go to. I know I went there when I was a kid, but I haven't been there since it burned down. The Iron Horse Grill, downtown, and then there's a
somewhere they're just like a little spot to get you some takeout, dog. Not no Iron Horse.
there's a grill by on North State Street on the frontage road that's owned by Mississippi State Grad. I can't think of the name of it right now. They have some pretty good food. I'll find it and tell it to you. But I had a little get together there a couple years back. And good food there. I'll find the name of it and give it to
That
you.
was very helpful, Derek.
Hey man, you've been living in Jackson longer than I have lately. Restaurants. There's so many restaurants I'm probably closed since I've been living in Jackson.
Look, I was gonna say something about black-owned restaurants, but if any of y'all, kind of food,
Capital Grill.
that's kind of my bag, baby.
somebody said
I've been to Capital Grill before, and yeah,
Okay, that's owned by Mississippi State Grad.
he does food with Mississippi State real heavy. Nice black-owned business in Jackson. Godfrey's. They have like Caribbean type stuff. It's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I personally, a stamp burger does not sound so bad right now.
Hey, your girl shouted you out, AJ.
You gotta go to the one. You gotta go to the one by Jackson State, not the one on off Northside Drive.
Ian, who is my girl?
Somebody said, "Come to Starkville and eat."
Oh, you talking about Shantita?
She said, "Come to Starkville and get you something."
Shantita.
Shout out WTF in Starkville.
Yeah, Shantita need to WTF in Starkville. Okay. Speaking of which, our other sponsors, you know what I'm saying? Bale Smith, official Black Dogs cowbell, with the leather grip on it. You see, the leather grip. It's all black. You know what I'm saying? Hand painted logo. Now, for y'all, it's gonna cost you $120, but That's all I got to say. It's
And here's
worth.
the thing.
Look at
Speaking
it.
of that, I end up leaving my little lottery thing at my mom. She gonna have to mail it to me. So when she mails it to me, I'll be to do the winners of the pick 'em. So Arthur, are you gonna
Man,
give away the bill?
they can kiss my ass. They ain't ever getting this bill. That's on nation.
Shan said she needs 2, man. Go ahead and tell her how to get it.
Arthur, man, you promised to give away the bill. You gotta give away the bill.
I also said that y'all can kiss my behind. It's over with, okay? You know, I said that I'd rather give them the money to buy a bill than to give up this bill. Now I will say this. I'm gonna talk to him and see if I can get, like, you know, King Arthur J put right here. You know, maybe class of 08, something like that. You know,
Hey, did you tell him how to get the bill again?
Oh, hit up Bell Smith on Instagram. Bell Smith.
Be still. There you go.
Yeah, bad boy, baby. And like I say, this part right here is hand painted, okay? And Ken is seen in person. It's sexy AF, okay? Let me shout out.
That handle feels great.
Let me shout out some more of these. Like I say, what the name? Eddie and Ruby's. I heard they closed just now. Talk of the yard, bad boy, baby. Okay. Speaking of which, if any of y'all out here is listening, I am a teacher. Okay, I teach history. You know, if you got a kid who's struggling in history classes and stuff like that, F with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I tutor for a reasonable rate. You know what I'm saying? You know, it probably cost you about, you know, $25 an hour. You'll be fine. You can afford it, okay? I'm good at what I do. So what else? Jeremy got something going on. I don't know. He sells seashells by the seashore. And don't forget that
he don't look amused, Arthur.
I know, right? And then, you know, Derek, he got the HBCU podcast and all that type of stuff. And, you know, Maroon and White Nation, all that type of jazz. Because Maroon and White Nation sucked for a long time. And I guess that whoever was over it finally quit. So, you know what I'm saying? That's good because those dudes were really, really, really trash for a long time. Am I supposed to be saying something else?
What are we doing now? That was dragging on.
Man, we getting out of here, man. All right, so final thoughts, okay? Since Jeremiah Short want to act like himself, okay? Jeremiah, what's your parting thought that you want to give before we get out of here?
Nothing really. Just be careful when you run your mouth and you talk that you know what.
Right. You know, Derek Thomas, final thought.
Man, I want to congrats Aaron Odom again, starting the game, getting 2 sacks. Man, all your hard work has paid off, man. So I expect you to be starting next year, and I want double-digit sacks.
Yeah. Hey, set those standards high, baby. I love it.
Nobody rises to low expectations, but okay.
He has the potential.
Hey, set them standards, man. I love it.
Laughing over there, Jeremiah.
So they're putting over, but okay.
Okay.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I don't know what he said either. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. Kendrick Vivians, KV, the headline.
Y'all already know. I gotta, shout out in-house business. You know what I'm saying? Talk to y'all for the GTA, the Golden Triangle area. I'm satisfied with the season, y'all. The record wasn't great. COVID transitioned into a brand new system, all that kind of stuff. It kind of had its thing. I mentioned did a post and asked, before the game, I said, when we win, will it be considered an upset? Because I already knew what we could do. That defense is stout. I love it. I'm actually looking forward to the men now. Basketball.
6-3.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna keep up with it like I do my ladies, but I'm looking forward to it because they're out there showing some grit. They're actually playing some ball. So shout out to them. The ladies, you know, they grinding as usual. SEC is heavy with ranked teams this year. So, you know, looking forward to all that, man. And shout out to Moss Point again.
Right, bad boy, baby. Cardo, you got any last words?
Fight, fight. Bust that over the head with a bottle. Fight, fight.
Okay.
I don't fight. I don't argue. I just hit that with a ball.
Helmet.
Beer. Why are you acting like a punk?
I didn't get the reference at first. While I'm at it, I got a brother. His name is Jane Stephanie. Okay, if he is listening to this right now, I want him to know that I am extremely upset because I went to Memphis for Christmas. You know, stayed up there with him, and he told me that he was gonna have a non-traditional Christmas dinner, which was supposed to consist of fried fish. And at no point did this fool fry any fish. And I didn't really want to say nothing to him, you know, at the time or whatever.
You're gonna bust him out on the podcast, huh?
I want him to know that I'm really disappointed. Because what he did was that I like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make a little bit of gumbo or whatever to kind of go along with it. I made the gumbo, and this fool did not fix any fried fish. Okay? And I'm upset because I had my mouth sot on some fried catfish, you know, maybe some spaghetti or whatever. You know, I eat mustard with my catfish. I don't know where that even comes from.
Mustard?
Dude, it is lit AF, man. I am telling you.
You probably one of those people that put mayonnaise and ketchup together to eat fries.
Oh, God, no. That's ghetto.
You eat mustard? Wait. Did you say you eat mustard on your fried catfish?
Yes, I do. It is lit AF, okay? Do
not like the only person I ever heard say.
You know what? Even though I ain't gonna knock you, man. I guess I tell you what, how about we challenge off there. Next time y'all have fried catfish, y'all try with mustard and see how y'all like it.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm good.
Hey, look, no Colin Kaepernick though. You know, cause in the Delta, we eat our Magnolia sausages with coleslaw. And everybody who is not from the Delta, anybody in the Delta that's in the comments right now will verify that this is a thing in the Delta. And I had my friend, she was from Portland, Oregon, tried, and she was like, I am so disappointed because this ratchetness actually tastes good. I'm like, exactly, because you have the
I don't eat coleslaw.
Huh?
I don't eat coleslaw.
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Something we can agree on.
Unlike you have the but it can't be any coleslaw. It can be any coleslaw, but preferably like KFC coleslaw. You know what I'm saying? So you have the sweetness of the coleslaw mixed in with the spiciness of the sausage, and the sausage be hot, but the coleslaw be kind of cool. You know, whatever.
And nasty.
It's not nasty. Well, coleslaw by itself is nasty. KFC coleslaw is delicious. That's why I say.
Well, Jeffrey just said grilled magnolia with coleslaw mayo based.
Exactly. Okay. I think he's from the Delta. I don't know where, but whatever. Ask Shantita. Shantita tell you. All right. So Shantita needs to start selling that at WTF. She needs to have a menu for Delta people only with salmon croquettes and hog head.
Is that salmon or salmon?
It's salmon croquettes, okay? That's what we call it. It comes to the croquettes.
I got Jonathan Abrams.
It's always salmon croquettes. I don't know why, but whatever. Make your house smell very interesting, but you know what I'm saying?
Salmon croquettes smell good, bro. What you talking about?
They always kind of remind me of Badussi, but whatever. Anyway, that's as good of a
same person that eats chitlins and everything else off of, you know.
Hey, no cap though. I be going to the Mexican place here in Jackson. And I get that
you eating everything. Arthur be eating everything, bro. I be like, God, no, bro. I never beat you in a paddock contest.
You know, I mean,
I'm boring.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. Did I tell y'all? Oh yeah, anybody listening in Jackson metro area, do not go to Senor Taco, especially if you are African American, because they be too busy tap dancing and shuffling for white people, and they had you sitting up there looking crazy. But that's beside the point. Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. F it. Okay, so I got it this time. All right, so will Errol Thompson go pro? Will will Malik Heath stop snitching on himself? Will he be able to defeat Cobra Kai? These questions and more answered on the next Black Dogs podcast. Okay, bye.